Hello.
Hey, Bill.
This is like being a little bit like back home. I grew up not too far from here. The other day I was at a meeting like this and standing in for Alex, and I introduced myself as the unopposed Democratic candidate for first spouse of Florida. And I thought it was clever, but Representative Maria Sachs, who some of you may know, pulled me off to the side and she said, Bill, you know, you better be careful. I understand there's a couple other people looking at that job. So I think the women will understand that, maybe. So what I'm doing tonight is I'm making points, and I'm going to be in line for that job. What about Leslie Mead? It just made me think how good looking we spouses are. I mean, we're just just so that you'll know, and everyone here, Alex has endorsed Congressman Meek for the United States Senate. I'll reiterate that. Early voting starts Monday. Absentee ballots, a lot of people have already voted. Alex is on the ballot for governor. That election will be just a couple of weeks from now. She will be on television within not too many days. She's even or ahead in all the polls with either Rick Scott or Bill McCollum, and she hasn't been on television yet. In 1984, I was a young, aggressive lawyer living in Tampa, and I read in the newspaper that one of my clients had hired a new bank president. So I did bank work. So I said, well, I'm going to go visit this bank president. I'll take her to lunch. I'll charm her. I'll get some legal business. So I went to Miami. On the way down, I read her bio, and I got a little nervous. I read that she had been a Phi Beta Kappa math major out of Wake Forest. She had left after college and taught school in West Africa, in some of the roughest places in the world, where she taught kids how to do math, and really just wonderful children, but hard circumstances. And she had joined banking and became one of the most successful bankers in the history of America, actually. She was the highest-ranking woman banker in America at the time, and she became president of the Florida Bank. She had a very successful business career. So I was nervous. I went to lunch. I put on my best Marine Corps effort and really tried to get business. Right. So there's my Marine buddy, Sucker Pie. So I came away from lunch with zero business. But I came away in love. And so what I did was I tried to get her to go out with me, and I'm going to tell just a simple story that'll tell you a little bit about Alex. I've been going for several years on a fishing trip with my handball buddy, he and I were the intercollegiate handball champ, tough guy. And his father, who was Jack Bolt, who some of you know. Suzanne Cosmas will be here a little bit later, and I saw Congressman Grayson come in. But Suzanne knew Jack Bolt. He was the only Marine in the history of the Marine Corps to be an ace in two wars, World War II with Pappy Boynton and then Korea. So he was my fishing buddy. So I show up, and Colonel Bolt is just mad as he could be because I brought a girl on this fishing trip down in Key West. So we ask, he looks at Alex and he says, okay, we're going out in the morning at 0500. And then we got to be down at 5 a.m. at the boat, and Alex says, okay. We show up at 5 a.m. the next morning, and it's pouring down rain. We're in Key West, and he said, well, we're going to go fishing. And Alex says, okay. We got out and passed the first marker, and we were only in a 22-foot boat. So some of you may know the waves are about 3 or 4 feet. It's a rough day. That's pretty bad. So all of a sudden, the cowling on the back of the motor in the back flies off, and my partner has to go back and try and take care of that. A wave came and hit, and I fell down and cut my knee real bad. It subsequently took several stitches, blood everywhere. And Colonel Bolt gets sick and starts throwing up over the side of the boat. And he says, Colonel Bolt said, somebody's got to drive. And Alex says, I'll drive. So we went out and any of y'all have ever been dolphin fishing, you bring them into the boat and there's blood everywhere. It's not flipper, it's mai. And there's hooks flying, you get a hook in your ear, and you take baseball bats and you're beating these fish on. We got back at the end of the day when we come to Key West, we're cleaning the fish. Colonel Bolt comes over and he pulls me to the side and he said, and my nickname was Bull, and he said, Bull, you better marry this one. And the point was she was gorgeous, and she was able to take charge. She was able to work in a group that, you know, was a little out of her zone, but it wasn't out of her comfort zone. I tell you that story because there's not much, as Leslie said, that you can say about being a spouse about your candidate. They speak for themselves. You know her position. She's got a business plan, education plan. But what I can tell you about is what kind of person she is. And I want to spend 2 minutes doing that. When about 8-9 years ago, we're brushing teeth. We live out in the country. We both got a sink. We brushed our teeth one morning. And I look over to Alex and I say, you know, I think I'm going to run for governor. And she says, of what? I should have known that was a problem then.
I'm in your way.
Just about a year and a half ago, or a year ago, Alex says, you know, Charlie Crist decides to run for the Senate. I think I'll run for governor. And you know what I said? No, I said, the people of Florida are really smart. They'll elect you because you could be the best governor of Florida. Karen Thurman's here, who's chair of our party, and her husband, John, the judge. They've seen a lot of candidates come and go. I will just tell you, I have to. This is one of the most impressive people ever been in public life. She's been a fabulous CFO. She's done exactly what she said she was going to do, and she's been the kind of person that you could really be proud of. And she gets elected. It's really the person who can save Florida. If either one of the Republicans is elected, the first bill they're going to send her is that Senate Bill 6. They're going to send it to the new governor, and one of them will sign it. Alex will veto it. They'll send out, talking about a woman's right to choose, they'll send that abortion bill back in there, and both of them will sign it, and Alex will veto it. She knows that she's strong, and she knows how to get things done. So I commend her to you. I want you to elect her. I would really be a good first spouse. I want you to know also just the last little thing. She's been a wonderful and supportive mom and wife. Our two children will be the only governor, I think, in 12 or 14 years that graduated from Florida public schools. And Alex was not, she was president of the bank, and she started the math club. She was the team mom for track and for softball. And she brought in, was in charge of a committee that brought double the number of AP courses that offered opportunities for the children in our public school and Armwood High School. Both our kids are doing great. If you meet them, you'll see Alex and both of them. They're smart, they're nice people, and that's because she was a wonderful mom. Some of you recall after my campaign I had a cardiac arrest, a little tough time. So I'm moping around the house and, you know, feeling sorry for myself. And one day she grabbed me, she said, come on in here. Well, we sat down in the kitchen. And I said, okay. And I sat down and she says, you know what you got to do? I thought, well, maybe we'll go to a new doctor or something. She said, you got to suck it up. She said, we got a lot of things to do. Our kids got a lot of things to do. And what we need is for you to be the man that you can be. And that's what you need. You need a partner and somebody that cares about you, but also can call things for what they are and make you better. Alex will make Florida better. She'll be a great governor. Please help her. Yeah.